Hey everyone, welcome back to Hero Wars Guide. The game just received a data update that provided tasks for the Light Titan events, as well as some information about the season pass that will be going up, and even a little bit of information about the Halloween event and related activities. So I'm going to touch on all those subjects here. I'll start with the event information and then get into the season and the other game data. Specifically highlighting what you need to know about the first day of the season. If you're a Western player, maybe saving some of your activities so you don't get cheated out of the first day. Alright, so getting into the event information, you have here on the screen the first of the Light Titan events, and you can see that they copy-pasted exactly the tasks from last time again. No changes here, the same outrageous outland requirements, this skin upgrade, which is getting harder and harder to complete week to week. I kept hoping to see artifacts or something else replace it, but it's the lazy approach of one-to-one copy-paste here. Exact same tasks. Then after this one's done this weekend, we're going to have a Soulstone event here, Mutual Devotion. I am almost certain that this is going to be Astrid and Lucas, based on some of these task names and a little bit of other stuff I saw in the game data. I don't have all the game data stuff figured out yet, but I did take a quick scan and saw some dolls for Astrid and Lucas, so that's probably going to be the way this one goes. And then finally, the second Light Titan event coming immediately on the end of Astrid and Lucas. So we have the first Light Titan event going this weekend, then a one-day pause, looks like Monday will be off, and then Astrid and Lucas, which runs into the start of the second Light Titan event Thursday night here in USA. So a note on the value of these events. I don't want to be too repetitive here because I've talked about these the last few videos, but in my opinion these are low quality. They're giving you mostly Titan souls, which in the long run is a very low quality reward, and it looks like they've reduced the quality of the dolls as well. The Karos doll, I believe that was the first one, the first event, were a decent value doll, something like 200 emeralds in average, and then the Mort event came out that first night. The openings were really good. Maybe not the best reward types, but the quantities were really nice. And, you'd open things like 5 of the Titan artifact spheres, even the things like Titan Potion, which not a desirable reward type, they were opening in batches of 300 and 800. And then they put in a game data update late that night or early the next morning, and the dolls, the very same Mort dolls, were opening into a completely different reward pool. The potion example again was 300 and 750 instead of 300 and 800, and many of the other types also saw similar, or actually not similar, larger reductions in the amounts given. And so that doll, I didn't have the biggest quantities recorded out there. I had, I don't know, several dozen, maybe a little bit shy of 100, counting all the split opens on day one, and they had averaged out to be a value of something like 300 or maybe a little more than 300 emeralds. And then after I opened some in the rest of the event Friday morning, then the value in that day was so much lower than the Karos doll that it brought the grand average down to something like 150. So it looks like the way that they've gone on these dolls is to drastically reduce the quality. No guarantees for what they will do on the Light Titan event, but I don't think you're getting much out of these, and I'm largely sitting them out. And I think if your budget is such that you're not maxing out every event, then especially with these very, very high targets here, these are good events to just hold on to your emeralds and spend them on something with a little better return. Alright then, moving into the game data, we'll cover here briefly some of the season ticket stuff as well as everything else that just went into the game. Most of this isn't going to mean a whole lot to the human reader, so I'll translate what I can of it. Some of it I'm going to skip over because I haven't figured it all out myself. Others I don't think is very important, but this section here, this 65, 66, 67, etc., these are one entry for each of the 6 tiles of quests in the new ticket, and this is just saying they all belong to Battle Pass number 9, or at least index number 9. It probably started with 0. But anyway, not a whole lot of useful information here. It's just code that is needed to connect dots within the system. This is an entry confirming that we can send a gift to someone else in the guild, just like has been available in all the recent seasons. So this will buy the golden ticket for someone else in your guild if you already have it yourself. Here, in this case, this is a reordering of some of the titans, and if I remember correctly, we'll see 2 or 3 of these, but I believe they're shuffling around the order that the titans stand in battle, and you can see here one of them moved up from 25 to 23. The red is the old line and the green is something new, so they changed this one from 25 to 23, and then these other 2 bumped out one. So I know there were some comments about a titan standing in the wrong order, and this is probably addressing that issue. I don't know the specifics myself there. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to these new titans because it's going to be a very long time before that I have them built up to use. Okay, and this here is the addition of a new titan to the game data. I think there will be 2 of these. There's this is mostly just having to do with their stats. I don't think there's a whole lot interesting here, so I'm going to skip over it, but this is just the creation of the first 2 light titans. Their names are all in here, all 8 of the titans, by the way. I don't know if they've all been announced yet, but there are 8 entries in the system, so if there was any speculation whatsoever about whether there would be super titans in the new elements or tanks, they are going to be coming, or at least they've got some information in the game data here that indicates they'll be coming. They've got names. Okay, these are not particularly interesting. So here is the loot box added to the game here. You can tell just by the naming that it's an Astrid and Lucas doll. This is what is another indicator for me that Soulstone event that we're going to have between the Light Titan events is for Astrid and Lucas. Here are the dolls for the 2 new Light Titans. Unfortunately, the game data here doesn't tell us any of the information about the contents, so we're going to have to wait and see whether they are the same or worse or better than what we saw on the dark side. Okay, here they just added a couple new fields of information for how to handle the cases where players are maxed out on totems. They added these fields to change the behavior for the silver and gold ones, and they just have, I think, placeholder values here for the light and dark boxes. But you can see here this whole section is being added here because they are going to introduce a totem of light item to the game. So this is the summoning sphere for the Light Titans. I believe later on we'll see that a bundle is coming so that you can purchase them again, just like we had for the dark as well. Okay, this is just some cosmetic item relating to the new Battle Pass. Here's some more information about what happens when you open an Astrid and Lucas doll, but again, they don't tell us the reward info. Same idea for the Light Titan dolls. Here, this is telling us the content of the Light Titan Spirit Summoning Sphere, which, no surprise, is 1 fragment for the totem. I'm not sure why they do tell us this, and so many other things they don't, but in any case, you get 1 fragment from the Summoning Sphere. Okay, this section here is covering some of the quests that are necessary. I believe this is to achieve avatars or frames or some of the other cosmetics. I don't sweat much, but usually you get a little gift of some kind for leveling a skin all the way up to either just getting it at level 1 or building it all the way out to 60. and that's what these sections have to deal with. And these are probably for the new Titans, or maybe these are for the Halloween skins that are going to be coming. That's probably more likely since they're saying hero skin here. But we'll see what those skins are in just a little bit. Okay, and this one is just the unlock condition saying you're going to get a new avatar if you complete the battle pass. Actually, I'm not certain whether this is completing the battle pass or buying the golden ticket, but there'll be some kind of avatar related to that. Here they made a couple little tweaks to, I believe this has to do with the cross-server war shop. I'm not 100% sure what this means, to be honest, but I think it has to do with the avatars that you can purchase there. So I'm going to skip over this. Okay, this here, these I think are going to have to do with the Halloween event. It looks like there are several more avatars coming out of that, probably for completing some of the tasks of that special event, but there looks like it's going to be a ghost theme for the avatars coming out of that event. More cosmetic stuff. I'm going to try to move a little quicker through this. Same here, this is another avatar, another avatar. Okay, and here we are starting to get into the tasks for the season ticket. So this is probably one of the more important items coming out of the game data here. This is going to let you know what to do for each phase of the battle pass. And I'm not going to go line by line through this because it would take forever, and I don't have any kind of reader for this information built just yet. I only have the reader for the special events. But I do want to take a minute here and look at the day one tasks. A lot of you in the West, at least, have probably been holding some activity, not knowing what you're going to have to do on day one of this thing. This one here is an important one. I don't know why they keep doing this as a day one task. It's idiotic. Everyone in the West will have most likely already used their divination cards by the time that this thing goes live, but they are asking for 5 divination cards to be spent on a day one task of the battle pass. So if you've already used them, the only way that you can complete this day one task is to not log in tonight after all this goes live and just wait until tomorrow morning to log in. Generally speaking, if you do log in and you just don't click on the season icon that'll show up at the top left of the screen, the thing still does start and you'll miss the entire day. But I have, in my own experience, just skipped logging in altogether, and in that case, at least in the past, it has not started. So hopefully you've not spent your divination cards, but if you have, maybe you can just not log in tonight and then you'll hit it tomorrow morning. Okay, so the way these are ordered here is it's like this is the top left slot on the season ticket, day one, and then it's day two for that same slot. I'm not going to read through this. I'm just going to skip down to day one in the next portion of the window. And so here we go. You can see it's dealing with chain 66, so that's one of the other tiles now. Chain order 1 means it's the first one, in this case day 1. And you can see here that it is asking you to get to receive some magic damage in the arena. It looks like in the amount of 150,000. So save an arena fight, or maybe spend a couple emeralds to get some more after the new event day goes live, because you're going to have to get hit by a couple mages, which, depending on your server, good luck finding some. Everyone seems to run physical teams due to the popularity of Isaac, but you know, maybe someone's got Aurora or something. And let's go to the next tile here, day 1. Alright, 67 is the chain we're looking for. In this case, you need to level up a rune twice. It has to be rune type number 5. Alright, I'm not sure which type of rune that is, but I suppose it probably does not matter. For planning purposes, you need the same enchantment runes in any case. So I'm going to move on. Okay, and then the next one, we have complete 5 missions with 3 stars. So you'll just need a little bit of energy to get through that one, and you can raid, no problem there. So that's it for the day, for the 1 day tasks. Then there'll be another section in here for the 3 days. Those usually aren't quite the same kind of level of emergency to prepare for, but I'll look at them real quick. It looks like the first 3 day task is getting 600,000 gold in the tower, so no big deal on that one, even if you've already completed it. The second 3 day task is to win 5 times in the adventure. I believe this is just winning a fight, maybe winning a fight without losing one of your heroes, rather than collecting the buffs or defeating one of the eyes of Herald or whatever it's called. But if you've got a raid saved, usually that helps clear these tasks out. And then getting into the week long, it looks like the first one here is 65 quantity of buying something from the shop. So a really easy way to knock that one out is exchanging Guild War trophies for skin stones, or something in the Titan Soul shop. If you buy a few sparks of power or potions or whatever, then you'll complete this immediately. And then is that the last one? No, one more. One more 7-day task for completing 100 tower floors. So easy one there, don't have to worry about saving anything. Okay, here we're just getting into special event tasks. We already saw that in the friendly viewer that I showed you earlier, so I'll skip it. Okay, this is just the skills, I believe, used, or maybe some of the animations for the new Titans that were added. I'm not going to dwell on that because it doesn't really have a whole lot of useful information anyway. You'll see that plainly in-game when it comes out. Okay, so this is some information about the new skins that are coming. There's a friendlier version that I'll show you a little bit later. Same thing there. Here are a couple new bundles that are coming. Not useful information really, other than they're adding some Halloween bundles to the game. Here we can see that they are adding another bundle for that light totem sphere. Looks like we're going to have some kind of Asgard insignia bundle. If that's the same one we've seen before, then in my opinion it's an awful deal. I know that some other content creators have really promoted these things, but I would advise you to stay away, and if you want to spend, get emeralds at 4x and use them on Seer instead. You'll get more return out of that. This, I think, indicates that there will be a 4x coming at some point. This name doesn't really communicate that clearly, but I believe this is the one that means 4x is coming. That may be as late as the end of the month, or on Oktoberfest, or whenever they do a Time of the Fearless, which this Light Titan schedule doesn't really seem to leave room for it to be in the normal place. And then we're going to see some Titan bundles, probably for these light Titan events. Again, I don't think they're very good deals, but you know the drill with them. You've already made up your own mind with the Dark Titan events. Okay, and this is a little bit more information having to do with the special events. In the tasks, we've already looked at those. Here, this one looks like it is the Halloween event. I don't know that that's true. I'll have to keep in mind to take a look at this quest event number 66 when we get there. I don't remember seeing that come up as an actual event on the schedule, so maybe this time is translating to something in the past rather than the future, or maybe just this background name is misleading. Here are the events for the 2 Light Titans. Here we have Astrid and Lucas. This looks like it is a reposition of one of the Dark Titans, whichever one is support. Some new artwork being added to the game. And so here, one of the big reveals is it looks like Halloween, Qingmao, Faceless, and Mojo will be getting new skins. I believe they're called demonic skins. So if you play these heroes, you can look forward to seeing that soon. Here's just some more art related to the new Titans. Some new splash screen artwork. And here we're back up to the top again. So that's it for this, which is the big file here. There may be one or two other reveals here in the English language library that they provide. Yeah, so again, we can see that a Totem of Light is coming. There'll be opportunities to purchase those skins, but you should just unlock them with skin stones, in my opinion. Again, more information about the Light Totem bundle. Some of these avatars are getting renamed. They're starting to add some information relating to the Spooky Festival shop. I imagine it'll be the same contents as usual, but you'll have to stay tuned for that. Here they just reworded some of the information about the skills. I believe this is Mort here getting just some clarification. But you can see here they changed some of the wording. Here we got names for the tasks of these special events that we've already looked at. Some more names relating to the special event. Yes, here's a warning about how if you buy the gift for someone who already has 18 totems, that they will be disappointed with the contents. This you'll start to see in your mail, trying to get you to buy something. Here's another warning about how if you've spent a lot of money on the game, you're about to get screwed over. And here on the bottom, I think it's, yeah, same idea. A note about what you can do if you've already maxed out your totems. I think the point here was they clarified calling out the 3 original ones instead of just saying all your totems. Alright, so that's about all I've got here for this extended look at the game data updates. Hope you guys found this interesting, and I'll see you next time.